and celebrate our retirees who have served the school district in many cases for in excess of 30 years. So it's truly a night of celebration and a night that we spend some time to thank staff members who've given so much to our school community. We are very fortunate this evening that we have several excellent supporters of our school district representing local and state legislature. And to start off the program, I'd like to introduce Chuck Levine. First up, sir.
Thanks, Dr. Grishman, and thanks to everyone here this evening. Thanks to all of you who run one of the premier school districts, not only in the United States, but in the world. And we are proud of what you do. Ben, I'm here to honor you for your service, and I have a citation. But what I'd like to say is, I am married to a retired public school teacher, and I know your family is here, and no one knows what the families go through. And Ben, I'll just share this with you. When my wife, Ronnie, who's now retired for about 11 years and taught public school in the South Bronx, she was actually pink slipped on the picket line in about 1974. It sounds like a country and western song. But she would be up very, come on over. She would be up very early to do homework and grade papers. And so I, being the dutiful husband, and also a product of public education throughout my entire life, would get up at 5:15 in the morning, Ben, to make sure she had her coffee. So now Ronnie's retired for about 11 years. She can sleep till 8 or 9, 9:30 sometimes. I am, this is how the families suffer. I am still getting up at 5:15 in the morning on a more serious note, although that's true, on a more serious note. We can't thank you enough for your service to our community. And I know your history. I know where you taught and where you served as an administrator. And I just want to share with everybody here something that I heard one of my heroes in government, Bobby Kennedy, say a long time ago at a fundraising event for people who help children. We never stand so tall as when we stoop to help a child. You stand tall, my friend. Please, two things. Please accept this. Oh wait, this is the governmental part. You gotta look over there. Keep your fingers on the bottom. That is from the state of New York, and this American flag, a lapel pin, is from me. Thank you for your service. Oh,
Chuck.
And one last thing before I forget, Ben, in your honor, I was able to secure $100,000 extra funding for this school district in our budget. Finally passed at about 5 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, which was fine for me because all I had to do was be up for another 15 minutes to have my coffee. Everybody stay safe, and thanks for what you do. And
Sure.
Well done, Ben. Well done. Thank you, Hank.
Chuck, we always appreciate your support, and for the last several years, Chuck has been kind enough to secure additional funding to support our school district. And Chuck, as the other honorees here this evening, are strong supporters of the Jericho School District. Next, I'd like to introduce Jake Blumenkrantz, who's a Jericho alum, and we always happy to welcome Jake back to our school district, especially for special occasions. Welcome home, Jake.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Hank, for the wonderful introduction. I am a Jericho alum. I am the class of 2014. So it is amazing, and I get to see so many school districts around my legislative district, and Jericho is uncomparable. And the experience I received here, the teachers, many of whom are here today, who I had, are the ones who inspired me and uplifted me and provided me the grace that I needed to run for office and to continue my journey through the state and through the community. So I thank you all, but I especially thank you, Ben. Thank you so much for your work here. I appreciate all of the work the administration here does. Sometimes as students, it's hard to see it, but now from the role I have and the work I've gotten to do with the school and with many other schools, I know how hard that role can be sometimes. So thank you for your years of dedicated service, and I appreciate the role you played here at this institution. Thank you.
Jake, thank you for visiting us. Jake, I'd also make sure that you know that we have shredded your disciplinary file. Next, again, a dear friend of Jericho and one of our major flag wavers, I'd like to introduce our local county legislator, Arnie Drucker. Arnie, thank you for being with us.
Just good evening. Just anecdotally, by the way, thank you, Hank, and the entire board. Thank you for always including me in everything that you do. It's really a pleasure. It's always fun to come back here. Chuck's assistant had asked me, "Why is this place so blue?" And I said, "Probably because it's a blue ribbon school, right?" But anecdotally, Chuck was saying about being married to a former school teacher. I'm married to a former school teacher too. 31 years as a special education teacher here in Nassau County. And one of the things I recall is she would wake up early too to go to work every day, and I would wake up a similar time, and we'd get on the road, and I'd see her in a car alongside of me, and she would be smiling from ear to ear. And I'm driving like I'm miserable going to work, And I would say, "Why are you always smiling when you're going to work?" She says, "Because I love what I do." And that's really the key. Ben, when I first heard that you were retiring, it caused me to pause and just consider how many years you have selflessly dedicated yourself to the children in this school district, and the beneficiaries being their families, the community at large, your colleagues in the administration. It's truly remarkable. It takes a special person to make that commitment year after year for so many years. And you have left an indelible mark on this community that will be your legacy. And we owe you a debt of gratitude, Ben, that we can't repay, but we are certainly going to have your legacy live on in each and every one of us in this community. So on behalf, your contribution, by the way, has been noticed by the Nassau County, as myself and the Nassau County Legislature. And on the behalf of the Nassau County Legislature, I'd like to present you with this citation, recognizing you and your dedication and your service to this community.
Arnie, thank you for being with us and always being with us for our celebrations, and always appreciate your support. Representing the town of Oyster Bay Supervisor, Supervisor Saladino, who also lines up to talk about our school district and to rave about our school district. He couldn't be with us this evening, but one of his close associates, Mike LaPetrie, is here to present on behalf of Supervisor Saladino.
We wanted to give you a little workout today. That's what it was. Coming back up and forth. Good evening, all. I'm Mike LaPetri. I'm here. I'm a former New York State Assemblyman, actually, and here on behalf of Supervisor Joe Saladino. So excited. I am not a Jericho alum. However, I'm a Farmingdale alum and somebody who has only heard wonderful things, read tons of stories in the news about the Jericho School District. So kudos to each and every one of you and the families. And suffice to say, that all stems from the top. And that's to you, Ben. All your hard work, all your effort, all your dedication and commitment to the students, the families, the community, and truthfully, it shows. And I love it. You hear all the time people's talking, all these words, but you put into action. You showed it. And the beauty is you get the results. And those results are shown right in the public light, all because of your efforts. And so Supervisor Saladino was so excited to send me here today to congratulate you on a wonderful 31 years. That's right. 31 years. Wow. Can we give a round of applause, please, for Ben? 31 years. That's amazing. You're talking about 12. That's it. Same age, right? So truthfully, on behalf of the town of Oyster Bay, Supervisor Joe Saladino, want to say congratulations, and we wish you the absolute best in your future. Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Now we're going to make them walk some more. And please send our best regards to the supervisor. So I have an opportunity to talk briefly about my dear friend and my brother, Ben Chuo. It is not easy to do this without choking up, based upon the two of us spending 29 years, 29 of Ben's 50 years here, arm in arm. Ben started his career as an English teacher with a stellar reputation as an English teacher. And knowing him, I'm sure he was an incredible teacher just in terms of watching him, how he interacts with the students in Jericho. Moved on to a junior high school principal and then to a high school principalship. And then from there, in 1993, he came to Jericho as the assistant superintendent for educational operations. What's educational operations? Good question. Ben coming to this district had a very strong belief in taking care of kids with IEPs, our special education kids. And that's something that prior to Ben coming here was not something that Jericho was proud of. Ben came here and immediately started to look at our special education program, our special education students. He started to look at expanding program, expanding opportunities for our kids, and bringing our kids back to the Jericho School District. His efforts laid the groundwork for the outstanding special education program that we have in place today. The groundwork that he put in place grew and grew and grew to the point that we can say today we have one of the strongest, most all-inclusive, most comprehensive special education programs any place. And that is a credit to the work that Ben did when he first got to Jericho. At that point, he was assistant to the superintendent. In 1996, he was elevated to the position of assistant superintendent of HR. And again, the operative part of his description was human relations, operations, and the most important part of that description was and other. We had two directors of HR, and very frankly, our HR function definitely needed Ben's touch. Ben came into that function and, number one, still kept his eyes on our special education program, and together we hired a director of pupil personnel services, somebody who dedicated full time to special education. Ben, then spending some time with special ed, started to improve our HR program. And again, for the last 20 some years, Ben has been in HR. Again, developing a reputation throughout our district of Father Ben, Papa Ben, Big Brother Ben. He has supported, and I'm sure there are people here who can attest to that, he has supported staff members, families, and students through the roughest times in their lives. And he did it with care, compassion, and he became the face of Jericho's compassion for everyone who's part of the Jericho community. And again, as I look back on all of Ben's accomplishments, his legacy is ingrained in how we treat each other, how we respect each other, and how we support each other. You've all heard me talk about the strengths of our school district is based upon our kids, our wonderful community, our incredible teaching staff, and talk about the legs on a stool. A very significant leg on that stool is Ben. The years that he has spent building the culture that is now in place here is who we are today. And his legacy is we are who we are, and as we move forward, that will never change because of the work that Ben did over his 30 plus years in the school district. There really are no words that I can add to the impact that he's had on everybody in this school district, on me and every one of my colleagues, how he has impacted with his heart, his caring, and his input. He will be sorely missed, and we all wish him the absolute best. Dr. Chuo, a long, healthy, and happy retirement. I need a minute. We've had several opportunities to honor Kim Conger. It seems like I've had at least 3 or 4 opportunities to talk about Kim, as Kim also is joining the line of retirees this year. I think that the first significant item that I'd like to share with you is we keep count of employees in how many different positions they've had and how many areas in which they've earned tenure. And again, there's been a competition. Benny D'Aquila started the competition. Brian Cummings joined the competition, and then Kim Conger blew them both away. So Kim has been a special ed kindergarten co-teacher. She's been a consultant teacher. She's been a facilitator. She's been a part-time curriculum associate for special ed. She's been an interim curriculum associate for special ed. I think I have 2 or 3 pages of her titles. Curriculum associate, elementary special ed. She was elementary principal at Jackson. And again, we needed Kim to help us out in a challenging situation, and Kim's hand went right up. I'll be there, and I'll do everything I need to do to work Jackson through a challenging time. Elementary principal, and then since July of 2019, Kim has been our director of pupil personnel services, our director of special ed. She carried Ben's torch forward, and through the years that she's been the director of special ed, she has enhanced our programs, expanded our programs, brought back kids into our program, and she too leaves a legacy on our special education program, and again has helped build the reputation of our special education. So with that, we wish Kim a long, happy, and healthy retirement. Kim, congratulations. Where are you, Kim? No, you're not getting away.
right, Mrs. Breidenbach, please come to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to ask Mr. Ron Vad Derber to please join me. I'm gonna try this a little bit. As we gather to celebrate our retiree class of 2024, our hearts are filled with profound gratitude and admiration for all that you have contributed to our school and community. Your beautiful singing voice has been the soundtrack to countless memories, and your unwavering advocacy for teachers and students alike has left a lasting handprint on the hearts of many. Whether performing on stage, leading our choir, or guiding us through challenging times, your talent and passion have strengthened everyone around you, demonstrating the power of music to bring people together and to heal. Beyond your musical talents, your steadfast commitment to advocating for the needs of teachers and students has been truly exemplary. You have championed our causes with grace and determination, ensuring that our voices were heard and respected. Your leadership has fostered a sense of unity and purpose within our community, and your dedication to creating a nurturing and supportive environment has profoundly impacted all of us. Throughout your 30 years with us, you have been a mentor, a guide, and a friend. You have inspired countless students to discover their own voices and pursue their dreams with confidence and passion. Your legacy is reflected in the successes and achievements of those you have taught and in the lasting bonds of friendship and respect you have cultivated among your colleagues. Thank you, Ron. We are profoundly grateful for the countless ways you have shared your gifts, your wisdom, your kindness with us. Wishing you great joy and happiness in your retirement, along with countless memories to keep you singing and smiling in the next song of your life.
Ron, I would, again, I appreciate very much Ruth, your words about Ron, and I just would like to add a quick 2 cents. And again, I agree with all of your characterization of Ron. One of the things that stands out in our district is the working relationship labor and management has had in this district throughout our history. Ron, throughout his leadership position in the Jericho Teachers Association, has fostered a healthy relationship that has made the workplace for our teachers, our administrators, therefore for our kids, an incredible workplace where teachers' voices are heard, teacher voices are appreciated. And again, Ron, that comes from your leadership. And I will tell you personally, I will miss the times we've agreed. I probably will miss the times more we disagreed. Those were more fun. But the district will miss your leadership, and I too also wish you long, happy, healthy retirement. Thank you for all you've given.
We would like to invite Mrs. Dale Ettinger up. This is it, Dale, the last one, I promise. As you step into your well-deserved retirement, we find ourselves filled with profound sense of gratitude and admiration for the incredible legacy you leave behind. Thank you for making the pathway for us to follow and for having the smallest, biggest shoes to fill.
For 39 years, you've been more than an educator. You've been a mentor, a guide, and an inspiration. Through your patience, encouragement, collaboration, and expert guidance, You've been a trailblazer who's marched on football fields and stood with pride on the podium in classrooms and on stages.
You have instilled in your students the values of perseverance and creativity. The performances you have orchestrated, the ensembles you have conducted at Music in the Parks and All County and NYSSMA festivals, and so many more, have contributed to the immeasurable hours you have dedicated to the Jericho Music Department.
As we prepare to say see you later, because this isn't goodbye, we do so with a deep sense of gratitude for your professionalism and musicianship, it's a tough word to say, that have left a long-lasting impact on our school and community. We celebrate your remarkable career and the countless memories you've created with us. Your colleagues and friends are who we are today because we know you.
So thank you, Dale, for your enthusiasm and your unwavering support of every student who has had the privilege of learning from you. We wish you a retirement filled with joy, relaxation, and the same sense of fulfillment you have given to so many others. Thank you, Dale. I'd now like to introduce Chad Gleason, principal of the middle school. I almost forgot about you.
Will Mrs. Jackie Caputo come down to the microphone? I'm delighted to speak tonight on behalf of our guidance secretary, Mrs. Caputo. In her role, Jackie has a number of important responsibilities, from registering new students to coordinating large events like new student orientation and our moving up ceremony. However, Ms. Caputo's most important responsibility is that she's often the first point of contact for a student who's having a difficult time with their day. Whether a student comes to the office for assistance with a schedule or for help during a significant loss, Jackie's kindness, empathy ensures that students feel that they are welcomed and supported in the guidance office. Her love for students has been evident in everything that she does. She's been a guiding light for so many students, always offering a warm smile and a listening ear. Her presence has made our school a better place, and her impact will be felt for years to come. Mrs. Caputo will miss her colleagues in the middle school PPS department who've become like a second family to her. Their camaraderie, laughter, teamwork that's shared in that office has been a source of joy and strength, not only to Jackie, but to the entire middle school family. In retirement, Ms. Caputo is looking forward to embracing a slower pace. She eagerly anticipates hitting the snooze button on her alarm clock. Most importantly, she's excited to spend some quality time with her husband, kids, and sister who's here tonight. Jackie, we're grateful for your years of service and the positive impact you've had on thousands of students and hundreds of staff members. Congratulations on your well-deserved retirement. I'd like to welcome our Curriculum Associate for English, Dr. Dan Salzman.
Chad, come on. Okay. It's been my whole life story. May I invite Naiden Palumbo up here, please? Ladies and gentlemen, as we bid farewell to Naiden Palumbo, we celebrate not only the end of a chapter, but also the legacy of inspiration and guidance she leaves behind. For countless years, she has been the beacon of knowledge, igniting in her students a love for literature and language. As she embarks on this new chapter in her life, let us express our deepest gratitude for her tireless dedication and boundless enthusiasm. Though she may be retiring from her official duties, her impact will continue to resonate within these walls for generations to come. Congratulations on your retirement, and may the next chapter of your life be filled with joy, fulfillment, and endless possibilities. Congratulations. May I invite Alex, the principal of the George A. Jackson School, Alex Rivera.
Just a tiny bit taller than Dan. So, just a tad. Just have to adjust. Just real quickly before we get into the celebration of Jackson, I would just, Eric, join me for a quick second up here. Thanks, Eric. To Dr. Chuo behind me, to Ms. Conger. You can stay back. You can stay. We don't have any. To all the retirees in the audience, on behalf of the principals in this district, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you for all of your support. Each of you has been connected to a principal in Jericho school districts. And quite frankly, you've helped make all of our work easier. We can't thank you enough. We don't get to say those words every day. But on behalf of all the principals, again, a heartfelt thank you and congratulations in your retirement on this next chapter. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So we just thought it would be a good idea. Curriculum associates and principals would just lend their voices in the message of congratulations to everybody. But we wanted to make a very, very special congratulations and thank you to Ben and to Kim. We've known a long time and we consider colleagues and friends and teachers. You can never quit the curriculum associates. So congratulations, everybody.
And so tonight is more of a celebration than anything else. And it's an opportunity to say thank you and honor those who've worked very close with us. To my dear colleague, Maryann, I've had a chance to work with you for 5 years. The celebration is not just going to end here, it's going to continue. And Jackson knows how to send people out on a high note. And we will celebrate you until the very last day. But do join me this right now because I want to share some words with you. So come up here.
Alex, that's the principal of Jackson?
Yeah. I didn't want you to say that publicly. I will use the title co-principal. I'm going to share with you, Maryann, something on here, and then I'm going to go off script just a slight bit. Dear Maryann, as the school year draws to a close, we find ourselves reflecting on the incredible impact you have had on our school district since you first joined Jericho back on October 7th, 1996. With your retirement officially beginning on July 26th, we want to take a moment to express our deepest appreciation for your outstanding contributions over the years. Colleagues often describe you as a person who always makes things work, and it's easy to see why. Your dependability and extensive knowledge have been pillars of support for administrators, teachers, staff, and family alike. Whether navigating through routine tasks or handling high-pressure situations, you've always been the calm, guiding force that everyone could rely on. Beyond your professional expertise, you have a unique gift for connecting with the children and their families. Your understanding and compassion, or I should say your understanding and compassionate approach, have made a lasting difference in countless lives, creating a warm and welcome environment within our school community. And as colleagues have shared, who could forget your fantastic dancing skills, especially when the 80s music starts playing? Your vibrant spirit and joy for life have been infectious, bringing smiles and laughter to all who have had the pleasure of working with you. Maryann, your retirement marks the end of an era for our school and school district. Your legacy of dedication, support, and kindness will be remembered fondly by all of us. We will miss your presence dearly, including hearing your voice over the loudspeaker each day. We wish you all the happiness and relaxation you so richly deserve in this new chapter of your life. Thank you for everything, and do pay us a visit from time to time. Enjoy Florida. With heartfelt appreciation and much love, your Jackson family. And so, wanted to leave you with something that you could look back on this day and remember the words that were shared. So this is for you. Please enjoy and share those words. One more time. I love you.
Thank you.
You know, one of the closest people you get to is the secretary, right? And so I just wanted her to go back to her seat real quick. Maryann, I will truly forever be in your debt of gratitude. And I tell you, I love you very, very much. And I've earned not only a colleague for the last 5 years, but a truly special friend. So I just want to say that. Thank you. Joining me to share some words, please welcome our athletic director, John Mankiewicz, as we speak about Colleen O'Connell.
Colleen, I thought you took those papers back.
And my apologies in advance if I don't stick to the time limit, as I know I didn't do that a minute ago with Maryann. But here we go. Dear Colleen, as the school year comes to an end, it is with mixed emotions that we bid farewell to a truly remarkable colleague. Since you joined our school district, and this is amazing, September 1st, 1987. I was 8 years old. You have left an indelible mark in our community. And with your retirement officially beginning on June 30th, we want to take this moment to celebrate you and your incredible contributions. Your sense of humor, as right there, and unwavering team spirit have made working with you an absolute joy. You've always brought laughter, camaraderie to our team, creating an environment where everyone feels welcome and valued. Who can forget the unforgettable moments of you and Jim dressed as Sonny and Cher, entertaining us with your karaoke performance? That was a fantastic one. This memory will forever bring smiles to our faces. Your students have always loved attending physical education class, not gym, as you remind us, and it's easy to see why. Your unique ability to make every class fun and engaging, even for the less athletically inclined, is a testament to your talent and dedication. You have a special gift for inspiring a love of physical activity in all your students. Though you shy away from the spotlight, this is truly your time to shine. Your hard work, commitment, and countless lives you have touched throughout your career deserve to be celebrated and honored. Colleen, your retirement marks the end of an era for our school district. You will deeply be missed, but your legacy of joy, teamwork, and dedication will continue to inspire us all. We wish you all the happiness and relaxation you deserve as you embark on this exciting new chapter of your life. Thank you for everything. We do hope you will visit us from time to time. And again, with heartfelt appreciation and much love, your Jackson family.
"37 years at the same in the same district. I'm just glad to see that there are teachers still around from when I was a senior in high school. So the great thing also is that she has been with the same teaching partner for the last 30 years in Jim Waska. So Colleen has definitely been an inspiring presence in the Jericho School District. She has shaped the lives of countless young students with her passion for physical education and her unwavering commitment to the fostering of love of fitness and teamwork. So Colleen's not just a great phys ed teacher. Colleen is an awesome tennis coach. So Colleen has coached both boys and girls varsity teams here in Jericho up until last year. She's won well over 300 matches. She's probably one of the most all-time winningest coaches in Nassau County. Her individual athletes have won county championships, state championships, and she is just tremendous. And one of the things I love about when she was coaching tennis was that she was old school and the kids were going to do it the right way. And she always had a great expectation for her kids. Her coaching not only developed talented athletes, but they built character and confidence in her players. Her colleagues, especially Jim, and students will always remember her encouraging words, her ability to make every child feel valued and capable. Colleen's legacy is one of dedication, passion, and genuine love for teaching and coaching. She's left an indelible mark on our community, and her contributions will be cherished for years to come. Colleen, we wish you all the joy and relaxation that retirement can bring. We thank you for your many years of service and for making a lasting difference in the lives of so many. You will be deeply missed, but your legacy will continue to inspire future generations. All the best.
Now I'd like to call up to the podium our Curriculum Associate for Science and Technology Education, Kim Libertini.
It doesn't go down anymore. Okay. I'd like to call up to the podium Theion Ronado. Like the elements on the periodic table, Ms. Ronado has brought her own special properties to Jericho High School. In fact, she has played more roles in Jericho High School than she has nicknames. Around the department and among the students, she will answer to or refer to herself as any of these names: T, Mama T, Nizar, Ronado, Theion, and sometimes even the One. She has served as the chemistry and AP chemistry teacher, Bolt Leadership Advisor, Science Olympiad Advisor, Chemistry Olympiad Organizer, and the Director of Plays and Musicals. She has taken new department members under her wing, served as a mentor, and offered a helping hand to her expertise to anyone in need. As a chemistry teacher, she dedicated her career to building strong bonds with both the students she teaches and her departmental colleagues. When you walk into her chemistry classroom, you can feel both her passion for teaching and her love for the students she teaches. She has devoted incredible care, precision, and attention to the needs of each and every student in her class. When she is not in the classroom, she can be found on the stage, literally. I have witnessed the countless hours that she has devoted to directing school plays and musicals. The connection she has formed with students extend long after they leave the four walls of Jericho High, and her science department colleagues will always consider her family. They say the only constant in chemistry is change. As you transition into the next phase of life, apply the chemistry principles. Constantly adapt, experiment, and discover the most remarkable compounds that create happiness in life. We want to wish you all the best as you embark on retirement. Your absence will surely be felt by many. I'd like to invite Karen Singer. Just as a healthy ecosystem relies on the delicate balance and interplay of its various components, the Jericho Science Department has thrived thanks to the rich talents, experiences, and perspectives that teachers like Karen Singer bring to teaching each day. Karen is known for teaching both biology and anatomy and physiology, working alongside her co-teachers, and creating and advising the Medical Minds Club. In addition to that, she has found remarkable ways to connect with her students, capitalize on their talents, advocate for their needs, and provide support, encouragement, and guidance. One of the foundational principles of biology is the incredible resilience and adaptability of living organisms. No matter the obstacle, life finds a way to thrive. In her time here, Karen has strived to embody this ethos and approached each challenge with a willing mindset and a determination to overcome. Her commitment to the students she has taught are evidenced by the countless hours she dedicates to planning with her co-teacher, the thoughtful conversations she has with students in her AIS class and the after-school program, and the opportunities she brings to our Medical Minds Club. Her colleagues have shared, Karen is an incredible partner in planning. I have grown to love our dynamic in the classroom. Karen is a true confidant and an incredible friend. Karen's personal strength and perseverance are inspiring. Karen, as you leave us to head towards your next destination, we wish you warm weather, sunny skies, and breathtaking sunsets. Your absence will be felt by your Jericho family. And now Dr. Ivy Sherman.
Hey, Mona Araji, would you join me? Due to a family commitment, Mrs. Kletter could not be here tonight, so I have the pleasure of speaking for Mona. Mona Araji has been a teacher for over 30 years, 31 in the Jericho School District. As a general education classroom teacher and many years as a co-teacher, Mona always dealt with her students and their families with grace and an open mind. She was always a learner and never balked at having to try something new or innovative. As JTA Elementary Vice President, in her mostly quiet way, Mona always conveyed what she thought was fair for the teachers she represented. However, more importantly, she always advocated for her students in the same way. Those of you who know Mona know she is persistent, but very calm. Mona and I had many, many long conversations after school discussing whatever needed to be discussed, but it was always time well spent. We problem solved well together. Mona was always respectful and gracious. She was always appreciative of the time. Mona, thank you for giving so much of yourself to our district. I know Jim, Anthony, Michael, and Christina will be so happy to have you all to themselves. Your accomplishments do not go unnoticed, whether it be in the classroom or as a JTA representative. Congratulations on your next chapter. We will miss you. Oops. Come on with you. All right, Mr. Hahn, will you join me up at the podium?
Good evening. If I could please ask Orlando Sarvia to come up.
Come on, Bobby Star, let's go.
It's hard to believe that I'm a little shorter than everybody else too. It's hard to believe how young this guy looks, considering he's been working here in the Jericho School District for just about 20 years now, actually a little over 20 years. So congratulations for that. And before joining our team here at Jericho, you worked as a groundskeeper over the Call Play School District, if I'm not mistaken. So you've had a lot of opportunity and a lot of experience. Throughout Orlando's years here, he's had the ability and the opportunity to work in a number of our facilities, working on various shifts and working with a lot of the different crews here. He's been one of those team members and people who are responsible for breaking down all of the classrooms, moving all of the furniture, taking part in all of the summer cleaning, and putting everything back together after the construction destruction. He's also one of those individuals who's been responsible to make sure that our evening events, our activities, and everything else that takes place in our buildings after hours runs very smoothly, to help set things up as well as break things down and get everything put back together for the next day of school. Any of your colleagues who've had the opportunity to work with you, or the teachers whose rooms you've kept clean, can all appreciate your friendly personality, and they all know how hard you've worked to keep your section and their rooms of the building clean and well maintained. Orlando, I want to thank you for all of your hard work, all of your help throughout the years, and we wish you in your very happy retirement. I hope you now have the time to tend to your gardens. I do know that you do tomatoes, you do herbs, and take some well-deserved time to spend with your family and take those vacations. I also happen to know you're a big fan of tequila, so allow me.
Congratulations to all the retirees. Everyone spoke so eloquently, so nothing else to add, but you all left a legacy here and you will be deeply missed. And we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And like everyone said, come back and visit. Can I have a motion, recommended motion, whereas all of the people mentioned, plus a few that weren't here, so I'll just read down all the names. Lillian Armstrong, Doreen Bianco, Jackie Caputo, Ben Chufo, Adrian Coleman, Kim Conger, Maryann DeAlto, Dale Ettinger, Linda Gelshahen, Ronnie Horowitz, Mona Araji, Michael Kramer, Lori Levettis, Louise Lord, Colleen O'Connell, Naiden Palumbo, Michael Pecor, Joe Prinzavali, Theion Ronado, Jose Orlando Sarvia, Lorianne Savino, Karen Singer, Anna Marie Torrigiano, and Ron Vad Derber, where they've been collectively, you added up, thank you, collectively
618 years of dedicated service to the Jericho School District.
Whereas each of those aforementioned people were here for continuous service for the past portion of 618 years, and will retire on the dates specified, have provided dedicated service to the children of Jericho, and has always been a capable, cooperative, and loyal member of the staff. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education extends sincere appreciation on behalf of this community for a job well done, and be it further resolved that the Board of Education extends honor upon each of the people who has been an important part of the history of this community. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Jen, second. Divya, any further discussion?
Congratulations.
All in
of you.
favor? And with that, since Ben is retiring, we have a new person to fill his position. I'm going to turn back to Hank.
A couple of other announcements that, as we honor our retirees over the last meeting and this meeting, and in our July meetings, we have an opportunity to welcome new members to the Jericho school community. Donna Zaraby is a new music teacher. I think Donna is with us this evening. Donna, can you stand up and welcome? I also want to take this opportunity as we say goodbye to Jamie Hermel, who is moving on to an assistant director position of special education. I'd like to take this opportunity, we're accepting her resignation this evening, to give her a sincere thanks for all of her years' service to the Jericho high school, middle school, and high school, to our supporting our teachers and our kids in the middle school and high school. And we wish Jamie all the best as she moves on to Seaford. And last but not least, we this evening are so happy to celebrate the appointment of our new assistant superintendent for human relations and other. Again, a long and arduous process where we reviewed probably 60 or 70 resumes, where we interviewed probably 20 or 25 people numerous times to come down to the really great outcome of congratulating someone who's been with us for the last 5 years and has done an absolutely incredible job in leading our high school for the last 5 years. So this evening we will be congratulating and appointing our own David Cohn. David,
do I have a motion to approve the appointment of David Cohn as Assistant Superintendent for Educational Operations and Human Resources and other?
Motion.
Jen, second. Chris, any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Congratulations. Welcome. I'm just going to we'll do a couple reports and then we'll send you guys out for cake. Middle School Student Council, Akshita Sharma and Sophie Abraham.
Good evening. My name is Sophie Abraham.
And my name is Akshita Sharma.
We are the 7th grade Student Council representatives.
It is a pleasure to be here this evening. The SEL theme for this month is Reflections and Transitions. Webster's Dictionary defines reflections as meditating or thinking seriously, while transition defines it as the instance of changing from one state, form, activity, or place to another.
How appropriate with our upcoming Moving Up ceremony on Friday, June 21st at 12:30 p.m. This is happening in the middle school and high school auditorium. And on Monday, June 24th, the 8th grade graduates will celebrate at the Crescent Beach Club filled with entertainment and great food.
As we planned our graduation ceremony, we also welcome the incoming 6th grade students for their visitation to the middle school.
The middle school spring band concert was held Wednesday, June 5th in the auditorium. Congratulations to all the participants.
The Student Council and Community Service Club visited Last Hope, the animal rescue shelter in Wantagh, on Friday, June 7th. What a wonderful day for our students.
The month of June celebrates Pride Month. Many students wore rainbow colors to demonstrate their support.
During Memorial Day weekend, middle school students competed at IAC, International Academic Competitions, in Orlando, Florida. 7th graders Brent Costello was a finalist at the National History Bee, and Nicholas Wong won Distinguished Delegate at the Model United Nations program.
8 middle school students competed at National History Day over the past few days, and 7th grader Sam Tay placed 3rd in the nation and had his research paper showcased at the White House Historical Society. In addition, 8th grader Jay Patel was selected to showcase his documentary at the National Museum of African American History and Culture.
8th grader Chu Hang Liu won first place for middle schools in the Lowell Milken Artifacts Unsung Hero Award. Chu Hang will be awarded with $2,000 for her spectacular artwork. Wow, congratulations.
Tomorrow, the 7th and 8th grade students will have an assembly to listen to the remarkable life and story of Leo Ullman, a Holocaust survivor. We are so thankful for this special speaker.
Lastly, our summer literacy leader reading program has begun. Middle school students who read 4 or more books this summer will be invited to a party in the fall in the middle school library.
Well, that's all for now.
Have a wonderful summer.
And we hope you read
Lots
of books.
Thank you, Akshita and Sophie. Now for their first high school student council report, Caitlin Choi and Rachel Lee.
Good evening, board members, faculty, and administration. My name is Caitlin Choi, one of the newly elected co-presidents for the 24 to 25 school year.
And my name is Rachel Lee, the other co-president of this school year. We are so excited to share our first monthly report and share with you the highlights from this past month.
After enjoying our long 4-day Memorial Weekend, thank God for Ethan Brown and his snow day, the Jericho High School Varsity Club hosted the annual blood drive on May 31st. Not only did students and faculty donate blood, but they also snagged a complimentary box of Girl Scout cookies and goodie bags made by the Jericho Red Cross Club.
Then on May 30th and 31st, it was time to groove at Choreo. Over 1,000 audience members showed up to watch 188 dancers, including 63 graduating seniors. The theme of this year was Broadway, which included dances like The Lion King and Hamilton. This is the highest attended event at Jericho High School. Shout out to Miss Corbett and Miss Leonetti for making this happen.
June 3rd was Commitment Day for our graduating seniors, a day filled with pride and excitement. Seniors proudly wore their college merchandise to showcase their future alma maters, creating a vibrant display of school spirit. We made sure to capture all the excitement for the Jericho video yearbook, now available on YouTube, preserving these unforgettable moments for years to come.
The senior class had the senior beach party on June 5th in the Sam Springer Gym. Seniors were able to unite to have a fun time with food carts, boardwalk games, photo booths, and candy bars on site at the party. Talk about a blast.
On June 6th, the high school band concert filled this auditorium with beautiful music. Triumph volunteers worked diligently to prepare programs for the event. Under the skilled direction of the amazing Miss Bellon, both the 9th and 10th graders in the concert band and the 11th and 12th graders in the symphonic band delivered stunning performances.
On June 7th, Mr. Silva and the advanced video production class hosted the Jericho Film Festival, screening the best student films from the intro and advanced classes. And the festival offers a unique opportunity for students to display their work on a big screen with a live audience, where the impact of the moving image can be felt. The event was well attended and the films were very entertaining.
From June 7th to 9th, the Jericho Music Department took a trip to Washington, D.C. to perform at the U.S. Navy Memorial, and they toured the city, visiting the Washington Monument. Rachel and I, unable to go, were especially jealous when we heard about the dinner on the night cruise and the fun day the students enjoyed at Six Flags Great Adventure to conclude their trip.
Furthermore, Pegasus, a book of student literature and poetry published annually, was released this week. The English department will also host the Canon Future Authors Project between June 27th and July 2nd for aspiring authors and photographers.
As you know, today marked the last day for high schoolers, hang in there, middle school and elementary school faculty. Oh boy. During the 11th period, seniors gathered in the front circle to bid farewell, shedding tears as they exchanged heartfelt goodbyes and reminisced about their journey together. The air was filled with a mix of emotions, from nostalgia for cherished memories made at Jericho to excitement and anticipation for the ventures that lie ahead in their futures.
Additionally, Regents exams will continue to take place during the next 2 weeks. We wish both middle school and high school students the best of luck on their exams.
Some additional events to look forward to include senior prom taking place at Glen Head Country Club on the 20th, the class of 24's graduation ceremony taking place at the LIU Tilly Center on the 23rd, and Dr. Chufo's retirement party tomorrow. My invitation must have gotten lost in the mail. In all seriousness, Rachel and I wish you and all the recognized retirees tonight a happy retirement and a thank you for your devoted time. It's our first year and Dr. Chufo's last. It's such a shame someone warned you about us, but
Yeah. So thank you for tuning in to our monthly highlights. It was quite a year for Jericho High School.
yeah, we can't wait to work with everyone next year. The weather's beautiful this weekend. We hope everyone has a fun-filled and a relaxing summer. Thank you.
Great job, Caitlin and Rachel. We look forward to your reports next year. PTA Council, Allison Edelman. Your last report, too.
I'm retiring as well. Good evening, Mr. Grisham, Board of Ed members, Central Administration, faculty, staff, and community members. I am Allison Edelman, and sadly, tonight will be my last council report. Elaine Gingold, who I know very well, will be the Joint PTA Council's next president. Obviously, the council is in very good hands. First, I would like to take this opportunity to wish Ron Vad Derber the best of luck on his retirement. As president of the JTA for many years, Ron has always been such a terrific partner to the PTA. I've personally enjoyed working with him, sharing many of the same goals for our students, teachers, and district, and we will miss him dearly. We also want to wish Kim Conger the best of luck on her retirement. Kim has always been instrumental to our SEPTA unit, and it would not be where it is today without Kim's constant support. We are also losing another legend in our district to retirement, Ben Chufo. Ben, it has been an absolute pleasure. Sorry, my back is to you. working with you. To show our appreciation for all your hard work and dedication to our district, the Joint PTA Council has decided to present you with a gift tonight in your name in order to keep your legacy going. Every year, each unit, starting with this year, will contribute $300 to the Ben Chuo Jr. Memorial Scholarship Fund. We wanted to give you something that had special meaning, and we can't thank you enough for the many years you have dedicated to the students and families of the Jericho community. Another special person we want to acknowledge tonight is Gina Levy. There you are. Gina's last child, Cole, will be graduating from Jericho next week. Gina has worn many hats in the PTA and SEPTA, and she has served on the Jericho Board of Ed in 2014. The PTA Council collected $750 and would like to donate this in her name to Cool Beans as a gift of our appreciation for all that Gina has done. We want to pay it forward, as that is what Gina has always done so many times. Gina has been a tremendous asset to Jericho and a pillar in our community, and you will be greatly missed. I am very proud of the many accomplishments by all the Jericho PTA units. Our goal when I started as president 2 years ago was to bridge the gap between all the different units. I wanted us to learn best practices from each other, share information, and have a consistent message across the different schools. As parent volunteers, we all work very hard for a common goal, to do what is best for all the students of Jericho, success for every student. I believe we have accomplished that and much more this year. Some of the important highlights from the PTA Council this year have been: we helped raise over $1,200 for Jericho Cares. We ran another successful Meet the Candidate night that was live streamed for the first time, and it had over 300 people in the community listening in. We ran 2 very successful parent universities, including a Zoom with over 100 in attendance with our college alumni highlighting their first-year college experiences. We invited back Dr. Stephen Dewey, college writing essay experts, and introduced Narcan training for parents. We helped to improve homecoming 5th grade events and school trips. We created Instagram pages in all our units and a PTA Council page on Instagram to highlight for the community all the wonderful things the PTA has done. We worked directly with Patrick Fogarty and the technology department to help jumpstart Parent Square. We had multiple conversations with the Board of Ed, the JTA, curriculum associates, guidance counselors, school psychologists, cafeteria staff members, central administration, faculty, and more, so that our voices are heard and closer relationships are formed. We gave feedback regarding summer assignments, testing rooms, substitute teachers, and valedictorian options. We worked with administration to add more signage to the high school side of the building. We introduced the district-wide elementary school movie night that was attended by over 500 students and their families to bring the community together. Thank you to Mr. Grishman, Board of Ed, Central Administration, faculty, staff, and the Jericho parent community. It has been a pleasure working with you all. Jericho is the best school. We are very fortunate that our children can grow up and learn in such a safe and secure environment. I wish congratulations to all the retirees tonight. Thank you for everything you have done for Jericho students and community. Enjoy your time off with your families. I wish everyone a very relaxing and restful summer. Have a good night.
Allison?
Before we get to the rest of the business of the meeting, if anyone wants to leave and go get cake, if you just came for the retirees and students, we'll take a little break if you want to do that. superintendent's report.
Thank you. We'd like to, on behalf of Central Office and the board, we'd like to take this opportunity to welcome Steve Goodstadt, who will be our at-the-table counsel on a go-forward basis. We've worked closely with Steve over the last several years, and we're really happy to welcome him to join us as a regular attendee at our meetings. Caitlin and Rachel talked about some highlights. Again, an opportunity to remind everybody that there's a Ben Chufo party tomorrow in the middle school library from 2 to 5. And we all look forward to an opportunity to continue to honor and thank Ben for his service. Caitlin and Rachel also mentioned the seniors who left the building at dismissal today and on the front circle. And it just was incredible to see all of our seniors out there with a ton of emotions and a ton of thanks with one another and with their staff, with more tears about leaving home, but just a very touching 15 or 20 minutes watching our seniors this afternoon. A couple of let me do our enrollment report. Our enrollment on June the 7th was 3,381 students. Again, I had said at the front end of our meeting, this is this board meeting, and then school for the next 2 weeks is a time of many celebrations. Tonight we celebrated our retirees and some new appointments. Next week, we will be celebrating our 3 elementary school 5th graders as they move up to the middle school. We'll be celebrating our middle school 8th graders as they move up to the high school, and then culminating with a week from Sunday. Again, I think the singular most significant highlight of the year, our high school graduation. Really look forward to that event. A couple of issues that have been high profile in the news. Many of you, I'm sure, saw the editorial in Newsday this morning, and many of the superintendents have been in touch with members of the editorial board, reacting to the Board of Regents, suggesting that they were going to discontinue the use of the Regents exams. They were recommending the discontinuance of using Regents exams, except for those that are federally mandated. Federally mandated, there is one Regents exam in math, one Regents exam in science, one Regents exam in English language arts. In our meetings that we've had with the State Education Department, and this is not unusual, we had meetings with them throughout the winter. The last large meeting we had with them was in March, where we met with the leadership of the State Education Department, the commissioner, the deputy commissioners, and they had told us that they were going to continue to review the recommendations regarding the Regents, and that they, in November of 2024, I think we're in June now, however, they said in November of 2024, they were going to release their recommendation and open up a period of time for feedback from the field. We were all quite surprised to see the state come out last week or earlier this week with their recommendation. I feel strongly that Regents exams are a far greater benefit for the students in Jericho and for the students across the state of New York. It provides for consistency in instruction in the 700 plus school districts in New York State. And I very frankly would hate to see the mandate for Regents exams to discontinue. I know that there are, based upon that release, there are meetings that will be taking place in July where we will be providing direct feedback, that the field will be providing direct feedback to the State Education Department and the Board of Regents. Again, one of the things that you've heard me talk about for the last several years is that the Board of Regents, as well as the Commissioner of Education, has really favored the city of New York. They used to talk about favoring the Big Five. Many of the decisions that have come out in the last couple of years have really been at the behest of the city of New York. The graduation rates in the city continue to be abysmal in most cases. And again, I view this as an opportunity for New York City to increase their graduation rates and increase their standing as a city. So again, I obviously eager to hear feedback from anybody who'd like to share with me their sentiment. But I plan on joining with several other superintendents who will give direct feedback to the Board of Regents and to the Commissioner of Education. The second issue that has been discussed a great deal over the last 2 weeks, the Board of Regents made a recommendation, and it is called the Mixed Competition Recommendation. Under that recommendation, they're basically removing all gates to male athletes participating on female athlete teams. The reaction from the athletic directors, John, and his colleagues, high school principals, superintendents across the state, and boards of education has been, this is a direct violation of federal law in Title IX. Title IX guarantees that our female athletes are protected and protected in every environment, including sports. Opening up female sports activities, interscholastic activities, unlimited to males will negatively impact the spirit of Title IX. And again, many of us have taken a strong position saying that we need to maintain the procedures that are currently in place. There's wording where school districts are given the ability to evaluate a male participating in a female sport. And the quote is, is there significant adverse effect in permitting it? We are fighting hard to ensure that that language is retained so that we can maintain the integrity of female sports. Again, several state organizations have started to provide feedback to the Board of Regents. We are awaiting a position from the New York State School Boards Association. We're told that they're reviewing it with their counsel. We're told and I'm told this afternoon that the New York State Council of School Superintendents is looking at a position paper, possibly coming out as soon as tomorrow, if not next week. What I'd like to recommend to the board that I would draft a letter on behalf of our school district, behalf of the superintendent. John, if you would join on that document with a signature, as well as the Board of Education. Again, some of the letters that I've seen have been directed to legislators. Right now, the legislators are totally unaware of this discussion. This is basically a Board of Regents and a Commissioner of Education issue. So I would be directing our letter to the Chancellor, in effect, the President of the Board of Regents, and Betty Rosa, the Commissioner of Education, expressing our strong feelings that this is not in the best interest of female athletes, and that we do not in any shape, manner, or form support the recommendation of mixed competition. Let me also point out that there's been some supplemental conversations, and I want to make it clear, this mixed competition recommendation has nothing to do with transgender students. Transgender students are protected in law and commissioner regulation, and the entire discussion around mixed competition has nothing to do with transgender kids, who we will continue to fully support and meet the letter of the law in terms of our dealings with transgender kids. This is strictly and solely about math athletes, male non-athletes participating in female sports. I can answer any questions for the board. I know that there are several board members were following this very closely, and more than happy to.
A question to our new attorney, Mr. Goodstadt. What would we need to do? Because I would like to see our board add its names to that letter. And I would also say, but I don't know if we have to take a vote to do it, or we can just sort of say add it. That's why the question was directed to Mr. Goodstadt. I don't know procedure on that.
Typically, if the board's going to put their entire name to it, it would be a board vote just to approve and sign their names to it.
Okay. And while we're doing that vote, could we get a vote on whether or not we should put together a letter similar to what the superintendent outlined regarding Regents exams? Because given our high profile, and I think given certainly the superintendent's stated preference, I would say it's my stated preference, that Regents exam should continue in the state of New York. I would like to see us put together a similar letter and send that on to the Regents, also signed by the board. Of course, signed by the superintendent. And the assistant, anyone who wants to sign it, the assistant superintendent for curriculum. I mean, whatever. So I don't know when we would take those votes. I don't know if we need to have a discussion on those votes. I mean, we have to have a discussion, but I don't know when we would take those votes.
You would just have to make a motion and have it second, and just like a normal.
Okay, so then can I make a recommendation that the board authorizes the superintendent to draft a letter regarding Regents and running mixed competition to the Board of Regents and the Commissioner of Education, outlining the positions that were agreed to at this evening's meeting.
What about the Regents exams?
On both issues.
Oh, both issues. Then I make a motion that the superintendent draft a letter to have the Board of Education, as well as the superintendent, as well as others, including Mr. Mankiewicz on one of the letters, to be sent to the applicable people, whether they be legislators, Board of Regents, or anybody else in the Commissioner of Education. I make that motion.
I will have John sign both letters.
Any discussion?
I will send a draft to the board before it's finalized.
All in favor? Thank you. You're still going, right?
I'm done.
As part of the superintendent's report, then, can we please pass it over to the assistant superintendent for other to give us a his final update on our residency recertification program for the upcoming 24-25 school year?
Sure, I'm happy to report that we're at just under 90% complete with our registration process. And we're following through with emails and letters to those who haven't complied as yet. And we're fully confident that everything will be done before the start of school.
A high bar you've set for the next incoming assistant superintendent for other. And sort of the usual question, Mr. Superintendent, because I got it again. Can you discuss the last few days of elementary school and the reasons we have anywhere between 30 minutes and 90 minutes or 2 hours of school those days, as opposed to a full day of school or no day of school?
Again, the reduced school day toward the end of the year for our elementary students is basically to give staff time to close out the end of the year. In the same fashion, our middle school and high school staff have reduced supervisory responsibilities, teaching responsibilities while they're grading, whether it's final exams, Regents exams. So again, historically, we've looked at a balance through the end of the year, giving our staff ample opportunity to close out the year in their activities.
Is that standard across most districts?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And a happy Father's Day to all those who will be celebrating Father's Day this weekend.
Here. Audit committee. So the board is the audit committee. So we had a meeting that's one of the reasons we were late. That again, apologize. Victor, if you could give a little summary of what went on in the audit committee meeting.
Sure. The representatives from the Rocky and Smith, who are our internal auditors, presented a few reports to the board, one on purchasing, one on extra classroom, one on payroll and other areas of the business office, and presented the reports to the Board of Education. And representatives from Cullen and Danowski, our external auditors, presented their audit plan for this summer as we close the books for the 23-24 fiscal year. And they audit basically our financial statements, and they will report back to the board at the September board meeting.
And again, we always do this, but thank you so much to you and your department for your hard work, and you really have us in great financial condition and explain everything and answer all of our questions. So we really appreciate everything you all do.
Thank you.
And while we're on that topic, let's approve the internal audit report. Be it resolved that the Board of Education acknowledges receipt of the school district internal audit report from Naraki Smith LLP and corrective action plan for the year ending June 30th, 2024. Do I have a motion? Thanks, Jen. Second, Chris, any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Now for the business portion, approval of minutes. Be it resolved that the Board of Education make any necessary corrections and move the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting dated May 23rd, 2024, and executive session dated June 6th, 2024. Do I have a motion? Chris, thank you. Second, Jen, any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Opportunity for the public to be heard. If you'd like to make a comment or ask a question, please tell us your name and affiliation if you're representing a specific group. If you'd like your statement to be included in the board minutes, you must hand a written copy of your remarks to Victor before speaking. As always, public discussion on matters relating to staff and students at which their reputation, privacy, or right to due process or those of others could in some way be violated is prohibited. Peter. It's not on.
Hello, my name is Peter Sue. I've been a resident of the Jericho School District for 24 years. I have 2 children in the district attending Jericho High School. I'm here regarding 2 items that I would like to comment on. The first being the 2025 calendar and having school starting before Labor Day weekend. The second is the criteria used to select the school's valedictorian using a weighted GPA. In the past, I have asked why Jericho doesn't start school after Labor Day holiday, similar to New York City schools. I was informed by a fantastic superintendent, Hank Grisham, in the past that Jericho has in its charter 186 school days, with 184 instructional days and 2 superintendent days, instead of the 180 days required by New York State. Labor Day weekend is typically considered the unofficial end of summer, and many families take their last summer vacation before school starts. Personally, I wish to start after Labor Day because I usually attend a 3-day, 9-man Chinese volleyball tournament called the North American Chinese Invitational Volleyball Tournament, NACIVT.com. This annual Chinese tournament is held in rotating cities across North America in the Chinatowns or convention centers of New York, San Francisco, Toronto, Montreal, Boston, Washington, D.C., and Los Angeles. This cultural event was in response to the repeal of the Chinese Exclusion Act in 1943. This was an annual tradition for me that I wanted to share and was hoping to pass down to my children one day. My family even attended this tournament in 2022 when it was hosted by the Boston Tournament Committee for the first time in Rhode Island, and both my girls played on the same volleyball team together with their other Jericho classmates. I was proud to be their volleyball coach. I am hoping that will be possible again, since the 80th anniversary tournament next year will be hosted by the New York Tournament Committee, with venues still to be determined. Of course, instead of starting school after Labor Day, which would cause a logistical nightmare for the school administration, I would like to propose an alternative solution. I propose the Board of Education consider making the Friday before Labor Day and the Tuesday after Labor Day school holidays. Not to take anything away from Senior Ethan Brown and his aptly named Ethan Brown Day, I recommend if the Board of Ed does approve my proposal for a 5-day weekend around Labor Day, to name it Dabby Lee Weekend. In honor of Jericho's first Chinese American and Asian American Board of Ed trustee, who was instrumental in helping so many Asians to feel welcomed coming into the Jericho School District community before the demographics and diversity changed dramatically over the years. This 5-day weekend that I'm proposing allows families, our teachers, and administration to reset shortly after school has already started in late August, as it normally planned every Jericho school year and the first school district on Long Island. To compromise and make up for the 2 days, I suggest we start 1 day earlier in August and add 1 day extra at the end of the school year, or better yet, just leave it to the subject matter experts who are the school administration to determine the best calendar schedule they recommend. So I'll stop here if you want to discuss this, or I can go on to my next topic.
Peter, I don't think there's anyone who disagrees that they would love to start school after Labor Day. The coming year calendar is a challenge, and frankly, we're just looking, and I think I'm going to ask us to table the 25-26 calendar, where literally every holiday falls on during the week. So we're not lucky enough where we have Saturdays and Sundays to help us out. So again, the challenge is great, and we're always balancing. And again, we definitely are sympathetic to, kids come home from camp, families get together, and they look at vacation time toward the end of August, and they also look at vacation time around Labor Day weekend. I look forward to that weekend as well. But the challenge is great. One of the things that Victor has to wrestle with is in his state aid calculations, there are certain days that you can count for, well, it used to be just state aid purposes, but now it's state aid purposes and it's minimum number of hours over the year. So we're also challenged with when those days fall and when we can get credit for those days to meet the minimum hour requirement for our students to be in session. We will look at, and again, I think at this point it may be too late to look at the 24-25 calendar, but we will relook at the 25-26 calendar. But again, that is probably the most challenging calendar I've seen in the last 10 years. Ben was very smart, saying, I want no part of planning that calendar. I'm out of here.
Okay, thank you. At least consider it, please. As for the second topic, why I'm here tonight, I wanted to comment on about the criteria for selection of valedictorian. I initially believed that having a single valedictorian reduces the perception of grade inflation in Jericho by outside residents of the school district. If one were to read the Newsday and look at the credentials of all the valedictorians, one will notice that some schools use weighted GPA, some schools use a 100-point scale, others use unweighted GPA like Jericho. Oh, by the way, there's grade inflation at other schools as well, because one valedictorian had an unweighted GPA of 4.04. I'm not sure how you can get that, but unless there is. There's no perfect system. However, using just the weighted GPA is a good starting point to differentiate who the best of the best is. But that would also put in place an ability to rank students, which the school has avoided ever since I've been in the district. Having a weighted GPA also increases competition with parents and students, with the goal of having their child named the valedictorian or salutatorian will take as many AP classes as possible. It will bring back another Windsor situation where parents may send their kids to summer school taking additional classes to have their child become triple accelerated or quadruple accelerated. This will create an atmosphere of increased competition and create an unbearable stress level for our kids. Weighted GPA, although, is just a tool and allows one to measure how well one is doing, can create an undesired outcome. Just like in the movie from the summer, Oppenheimer, nuclear energy is a good tool, but could be abused and turn into a nuclear bomb. Likewise, weighted GPA being a new ranking system, although a good tool to measure a student's rigor, doesn't truly measure performance over time. So what is performance over time? I believe Principal Cohen called it consistency. Typically, the final grade per semester is the grade counted on the transcript and used in the calculation of weighted GPA. If we created a consistency multiplier, then we have created a performance measurement over time. For example, if we multiply a weighted GPA times a factor of 1.0, the maximum multiplier of 1.0 is given to a student who got an A+ in every quarter's grading period, excluding the final 2 semesters in the senior year. If a student got an A instead of an A+ in one grading period, then the student would lose 1/100th of a point, and their consistency multiplier would now be lowered to 0.99 instead of 1.00. A grade of A- received in any grading period would deduct 2/100th of a point and reduce the consistency multiplier to 0.98. This is just a suggestion, and there's no perfect method, and the subject matter experts from the school administration can develop their own consistency multiplier formula. So I wanted to research this topic further, so I presented my consistency multiplier to 3 people. The first is a great advocate for the Chinese community. The second, Mr. Sloan. And third was a former candidate for the BOE, also active in the Chinese community. Guess what I found? 3 different opinions, all different from my own. In talking with Mr. Sloan, I discovered the person with the highest weighted GPA this year was not even one of the 13 valedictorians this year. However, I don't know how this person would have done with the consistency multiplier I'm proposing. The former candidate for the BOE thought like Mr. Sloan that weighted GPA was fine, and we should not implement it until the class of 2029, since it would not affect anyone with a high school grade. I wanted to implement the weighted GPA system with consistency multiplier with the class of 2025. As no one knows the future, it would not know how their consistency multiplier would factor into the determination of who the best of the best or sole valedictorian. So my position started to pivot greatly when I spoke with the advocate for the Chinese community. She asked, the weighted GPA and your consistency multiplier, are we not asking too much for our kids? The consistency multiplier, we are saying we want perfection, as you need a perfect A+ in every grading period to get a perfect 1.00 multiplier. This got me thinking, since I'm in IT operations. In my field, we constantly strive for continuous improvement. However, as the saying goes in IT, if it ain't broke, why fix it? In college, I studied engineering. In order to solve a problem as an engineer, we need to understand the problem before we begin to find solutions to fix the issue. So what is the real issue with having 15 valedictorians in the class of 2023 or 13 valedictorians in the class of 2024? Does it harm Jericho's brand? Does it cause Jericho graduation ceremony to last too long, listening to 90 seconds of valedictorian speeches? If we wait to implement the weighted GPA system until the class of 2028, as suggested by the PTA Council, the multiple valedictorians will continue, perhaps with the class of 2025, 2026, and 2027. The more I thought about it, my position began to shift to match the lady who was the trailblazer and fantastic advocate for the Chinese community. Both of us being Asian and Chinese, we thought, is this really a problem? Do we want to put so much pressure on our kids on achieving perfection? We all learn about the growth mindset, which teaches our kids to learn from their mistakes, but turn their mistakes into learning opportunities and think positively. I began to ponder further. Jericho High School is like the Navy's Top Gun school from Tom Cruise's 1986 movie Top Gun. Is it really to find out who the best of the best at Top Gun school is? Remember how Tom Cruise's character Maverick took risks because he was 2 points behind Iceman for the Top Gun trophy. Maverick was so aggressive he took risks to get more points so he can best Iceman for the Top Gun trophy. And in doing so, was caught in Iceman's jet wash and caused Goose, his Rio, to die in the accident. Do we in Jericho want such an intense competition so that we can determine the valedictorian salutatorian of Jericho School District? Can we not just be happy that we have the top students in all of Long Island and perhaps the whole country? Celebrate our valedictorians, whether it be 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19 valedictorians, all prime numbers, by the way. Obviously, we need to tweak the system so that the student with the highest weighted GPA is also recognized as valedictorian for challenging themselves with the rigor of their high school career. Valedictorian selection is made after college applications are submitted, so it's really just for bragging rights and has no bearing on college applications. Is this really a problem worth fixing? Instead, we should focus on other important issues, such as getting more stress relief for our kids, getting more guidance counselor for our seniors, get more funding for our academic programs like Saving Latin as a world language, even though it's a dead language, and maybe add other world languages like Japanese or German for the third and fourth largest economies in the world, respectively. Perhaps we can increase our school funding for extracurricular activities such as robotics or science Olympiad, to name a few, that can get Jericho School District greater recognition. Or look to hire a new replacement for Dr. McCullough, who led our science research program and was on a National Geographic documentary called Science Fair that highlighted Jericho as a school district. In conclusion, let's focus on the right issues that benefit our children. The Jericho calendar, which we send out to parents, which I have a copy here, has a section for the Jericho School District goals, which I believe was adopted by the board last year. The Jericho School District, let me read that, quote, "The Jericho School District is committed to nurturing the individual capabilities and unique talents of all members of the educational community and preparing them for the rapid technology changes of the information age." I would like to read the district goals and include them with my written statement. The goals of the Jericho School Districts are: 1, to support a diverse learning community that meets the needs of all students by offering a broad, challenging, and engaging curriculum and by enhancing educational partnership. 2, to provide students with the knowledge, skills, and support to become college and/or career ready and productive global citizens. 3, to help each child live an emotionally balanced life by teaching skills and strategies to be resilient and identify the causes of and reduce stress. And finally, to unify our diverse community in a manner that respects all differences and to encourage meaningful and compassionate communication and collaboration. So what does that mean, that last point, unifying our diverse community? It means to stop the attacks on the school administration and the Jericho Teachers Association. To quote Abraham Lincoln, "A house divided cannot stand." For Jericho to succeed and to continue to succeed, we need the Board of Education working together, along with the school administration, the teachers, the parents, the students, and the community. Thank you for your patience and hearing my public comments.
Thank you, Peter. I'll make sure that the board gets to see a copy of your recommendations so they can review that carefully. Appreciate the time and effort that you put in.
Do we have to give you the letter first? No, you could read it first. Oh, okay.
Jack and Angela Bankson.
Good evening, Board of Education members. 2 months ago, when Jericho parent Judge Corey Klein tried to speak up for his child here, you shut off his mic. You told him the proper forum was to send a letter to appeal to the Board of Education, and that's how it works in the Jericho School District. Well, my family has gone through every process and protocol, from teachers, administrators, superintendent, and then to you, and you did nothing to help our child. We sent a letter pleading for your help back in March. You didn't respond, and this uncaring delay tactic put our child at further risk. Then we sent another letter requesting a timely response by this past Monday. All we've heard are crickets. You are elected by us. It's your job and duty to stand up for all students in this district. Is this how you respond to parents coming to you in need? You're supposed to be a buffer between students and the administration. We've done everything we're supposed to do. Would you accept this if this were your child? Jill, you are the Board of Education president. It is your responsibility and leadership to engage the other board members on this issue. This is the richest school district in New York State. When are you going to start helping our child? When are you going to allow equal opportunities to learn? You have our request. Please do something reasonable now before there's further regression. Your PPS director hasn't returned our calls since last year, and your compliance superintendent hasn't returned calls for months. Is this the parent collaboration Jericho boasts about? You always ask for parental involvement, and here we are getting pushed back and being met by deafening silence by the board as well. In lieu of what you advised Judge Klein and your continued silence with regards to our appeal, how are you content to continue with this embarrassing hypocrisy? Where is the student support? Thank you for your time. Jack Banks. Can we get an answer, Joe? Anything from you?
The board can't discuss personnel or student matters in public.
We're the parents. We're here. We're asking her.
We can't discuss this in public. But thank you for addressing the board.
Right. Are you going to do anything?
Can't discuss this in public.
We're the parents. We're asking you. Sam, do you have anything to say?
Mr. Goodsett, we had this issue a couple of months ago as the speakers talked about whether they have the ability to the right to waive a discussion of their child in a public. I don't think it's a good idea, but it was a discussion and it was a point that was made, and your predecessor did not contest that point when a different speaker made the point that he was allowed to waive the ability of the board to discuss a child in public. Is that true or not true under the new regime?
Yeah, so I mean, technically there can be a waiver by the parent, but I still would not advise discussing student matters in public in which we really don't know what we're discussing here. So it's my advice to not discuss it in public, but there is a potential waiver if possible, if necessary.
He's new, so I don't want to disagree with him on the first day.
Do you plan to help our child?
We are helping your child. I'm not going to say more than that, but we are helping your child. Anyone else? Unfinished business, adoption of policy 7620. Be it resolved that the Board of Education adopts policy 7620, students with disabilities participating in school district programs. Do I have a motion? Jen, thank you. Second, Chris, any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Be it resolved that the Board of Education adopts policy 7631, appointment and training of committee on special education, CSE/subcommittee on special education members. Do I have a motion? Thank you, Jen. Second, Chris, any discussion? All in favor?
Did we have questions on this last month? Did those get resolved? I don't remember. I thought there were some issues about. I could be misremembering. I didn't go back. I forgot to go back. I thought there was an issue. Maybe not. Don't worry about it. If it wasn't, then if I can't remember.
I don't have any notes saying that we questioned
Okay.
anything. All in favor? Thank you. Sorry, we already did the retirements. That was next on here. Be it resolved that the Board of Education adopts the first reading of policy 1270, absentee ballots / early mail voting / military ballots. Do I have a motion? Jen, thank you. Second, Chris, thank you. This is basically updating the policy to, as the state has done, to have the new early mail voting, which we do in our national state elections, and we did in the Board of Education election as well. So it's just codifying the new early mail voting. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. In what situation do we personally deliver to the absentee voter a paragraph 2 right at the end? The application must be received by the district clerk designee at least 7 days before the election vote if the ballot is to be mailed to the voter, or the day before the election vote if the ballot will be personally delivered to the absentee voter. Is that?
Yeah, so personally delivered just means it's going to be handed to them when they submit the application. It's not like it's brought by a security guard or
I understand.
a courier.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then I just had another question. Can we add in somewhere regarding early mail voting, what forms will be accepted? I know this was a question that came up for this last election, and you don't have to personally deliver or mail in the early mail ballot. It can be electronically scanned and emailed, and just in which format, and obviously a wet signature is the only way to do it. So can we just add that language in so it's clear?
That's reasonable. Yeah.
Okay, I just had a couple of comments as well. So the first paragraph where it says the Board of Education authorizes the district clerk, that paragraph should be like the introduction to the whole policy. And you should add the word, and you should add absentee and early voting, because the early voting paragraph later just gives you a procedure. It doesn't authorize it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I got it. I can make that change if the board's okay with it.
So what I'm saying is the absentee ballot heading will come after the first paragraph, and then you're going to add in absentee and early. And then the other thing is in the second sentence, it says absentee ballots shall be used for the election of, I guess you have to change the paragraph to apply to both, but shall be used for the election of school board members, district public library trustees, and the adoption of the annual budget, public library budget, and referenda. Shouldn't it also be proposals? The word proposals be added to that? Propositions, I mean. Propositions.
That would technically be
That's
considered
referenda?
a referenda. Yeah.
Referenda, okay.
If you want, I could put in parentheses.
Yeah, because I think
propositions.
propositions is what we refer to them on the
That's fine.
ballot.
Yep, I'll put that in parentheses.
Also, Mr. Goodstead, is there anything we could put in here regarding in the event that a person receives the ballot either damaged or they receive an empty envelope, or what is there something we could put in writing that would state what is their next step if they're out of town and obviously they can't come in? Can that ballot be replaced in some way by canceling out the original code? I know that they go by they get scanned with codes, right, Michelle? So is there any way to cancel that out, resend the new one? I know that issue came up a couple times. What's legally allowed?
I think that's actually a question for BOLD or for Board of Elections. I don't know how the watermarks work on that or the barcodes.
Michelle, were you? No, I know. Is that a question for Mr. Goodstead, or like who did you contact when you had that question? I'm sorry, who? Okay. Okay, got it. All right. So I guess we'll leave that out.
I do get what you're saying, Trustee Bartnoff. But yeah, that's when it comes to a damaged ballot or something that's specifically aligned to that barcode.
I got you.
I had a question about the military ballots. And this was probably more a question for Victor. Why is it that in one part it says that the forms must be received no later than 5, but then the next line it says before close of polls on election day? Just wondering why the discrepancy there.
Where are you reading
So
from?
military voter registration forms and military ballot application forms must be received in the office of district clerk no later than 5 p.m. on the 26th day prior to the election. No, there was something else. I'm sorry. There was something else. It said 5 p.m. versus, where is this?
It's the last paragraph you're talking about, right? No later than 5 p.m. on the 26th day prior to the election. But I don't see. I don't see.
And then the next line received these ballots won't be canvassed unless they're received before the close of polls on election day.
Yes, so this time frame is actually set forth in law. So the 5 p.m. you're referring to in the previous sentence is regarding military ballot applications, not the ballots themselves.
I see. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
All in favor of accepting the first reading with the changes we discussed? Chris, you're voting yes, or was your question? Yes? Okay. Thank you. 5-0 with changes. Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the first reading of policy 7555, gender neutral bathrooms. Do I have a motion? Jen, second. Divya, any discussion? All in favor? We'll just say that this basically is just codifying also what the law is, and the law says that every single stall bathroom is designated a gender neutral bathroom, which is what we've already done, but this is just, we have to have a policy that says that. So that's what this is doing. Did we vote? Okay. Okay.
How many of these gender neutral bathrooms do we have, restrooms do we have in each building? One in each. And none at elementary level. Got it. Thanks.
Be it resolved that the President of the Board of Education is authorized to execute the memorandum of agreement by and between the Jericho Union Free School District and the Jericho Teachers Association as shown in the attached. Do I have a motion? Jen, second. Chris, thank you. Any discussion?
Just because I got the question from a couple of people when they saw this on the agenda. In the most recent year, the JTA contract, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Manuel, represented 50% of the district's annual spending, not excluding any special propositions.
Yeah, between salary and benefits, including FICA, health insurance, et cetera, all costs together represents approximately 50% of the total budget.
Thank you.
All in favor? Oh, Chris, did you want to say something?
But I do believe that's generally in line with budgets in all schools, public and private. Those salaries for teachers and associated staff generally represent the majority of the spending.
If there was anything in my comment that was judgmental, it wasn't. It was
No,
purely
not at all.
informational purposes.
I don't know. I was just being clear.
All in favor? Thank you. Thank you to everyone who participated in the negotiations. I know took a long time and happy we got it done. Acceptance of donation. Be it resolved that the Board of Education accept the following donation on behalf of the PTA Council in the name of Gina Levy and request that the funds be added to the budget code for Cool Beans Cafe. Thank you, Allison, what you spoke about. Do I have a motion? Chris, second. Divya, thanks. Any discussion? Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. Whereas in accordance with Education Law Section 3811 and/or Public Officers Law Section 18, a person known to the Board of Education in executive session has submitted a written request dated June 12, 2024 for legal defense and indemnification in an action in response to a notice of claim dated June 10, 2024, which such person was named. And whereas there are allegations in the legal action arising from the performance of the above referenced person's duties and responsibilities within the scope of their relationship with the school district. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Jericho Union Free School District hereby agrees to defend and indemnify the person known to the Board of Education in an executive session and appoints Ingram & Smith LLP to represent such person in addition to the school district in the above referenced notice of claim dated June 10th, 2024. Do I have a motion? Jen, second. Chris, Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? All abstain? What?
That was 5-0, right? Correct?
No, it was
4-0 with the recusal.
Thank you.
Approval of schedules. Do I have a motion?
Before we get to there, we had the additional vote that we added, a motion to save the video from May 21st, 2024, all security video from the Sam Springer Gym, past the traditional period of saving of those videos until the board votes to delete them. I know I messed up the words there, Mr. Goodstaff, but you
It's
get
good
the
enough.
general vision.
It's good enough. It's good enough. So second? Chris, any discussion? All in favor? 5-0, okay.
In case I messed up the words, May 21st, 2024, Sam Springer Gym security videos.
Approval of schedules. Do I have a motion to approve schedule A14385 through U367? Yep. Jen, you're my handy first motioner. Jen, second. Sam, any discussion?
Just a couple questions, Mr. Manuel or Dr. Sherman, on Schedule K and G and double G. Starting with K, instructional curriculum assignments. It's great that we encourage teachers to do R&D, develop better curriculum in alignment with district goals. You know, how does that process work? Who signs off on what? Who reviews the end product? Is the first question.
Teachers present proposals to either their curriculum associate at the elementary level. They present to the principal. Curriculum associates and principals approve their proposals, pass them on to me. They sign off on them, I sign off on them, and then the teachers have the summer to either individually or collaboratively write curriculum.
And I guess from the schedule, there's about 250 teachers this year. Is that open to every teacher?
It's open to every teacher.
And does everybody get, I guess everybody has 2 days here. Is that based on a fixed number of amount of money, a fixed number of
Correct.
days?
Both.
So
We take the amount of teachers who submit a proposal and divide it by the pot of money that we have.
And do they get paid a fixed amount for each teacher, or they get it relative to what their annual pay
Relative
is?
to what their salary is.
So they get a percentage of their salary?
240.
And this year it worked out to 2 days.
Correct.
Is that a rounded number, or they get a full 2 days?
No, it's 10 hours. It's 5 hours of summer pay.
Got it. Okay. And then the second question, in the it talks about that they have from July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. No, that's not true.
No, the final curriculum writing projects are due on October 1st.
I mean, I thought it says here, the amount of additional time indicated during July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
Curriculum projects are due on October 1st. So I'm assuming that is because that is the budget year, possibly. But they are due on October 1st.
So they're due October 1st. Am I misreading that, Mr. Goodstadt? It's page 186 in your package if you're playing at home.
Not in the packet that I'm playing with. What
Dr.
schedule?
Sherman is saying it does say June 30th, and she is saying that's wrong.
I'm not sure she's saying it's wrong, Mr. Perlman. I think what she's saying is that's the budget year with which it falls. So it's during the 24-25 school year. October 1st, 2024 is when the curriculum proposals are due. However, that's still within the 24-25 school year, which ends on June 30, 2025.
But it's okay. So everybody's due 2024, so they can implement whatever research and whatever solutions they have into.
This is going into a digital catalog that will be shared with all of the teachers district-wide, so everybody has access to the great work that our teachers do.
Alrighty. Then we can move on to Schedule G and double G, which is summer instruction. It looked like on the instructional summer we had, That can't be right. About 130 teachers, I think it was, were doing something. How many students are part of that instructional summer ESY 2024? Yeah. I don't have the full, I don't think I have the full schedule.
Our 6 to 12 summer program,
So how many students?
or about 100. This is not all for the summer program.
Oh, all the teachers listed there are not for the summer
No,
program.
those are all support staff who work.
No, here we have the support staff here, the non-instructional summer. Wouldn't that be the support staff?
No, I see them up here. Support staff.
So
Right.
so what's the non-instructional summer ESY? No, these are all instructional summer. The non-instructional starts here under
I'm
GG.
assuming that is part of the special ed summer school.
Got it. So those are two different.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so how many students are in our 6 to 12 summer program this year?
Say, I mean, invitations are first going in, I would say at least 100, right? Between middle school and high school. It's about what we had last year.
And students are selected by whom, or who has final sign off on who those invites go to?
I would say principals, guidance counselors, yeah, pretty much children who are at risk and could use some additional
So
support.
Mr. Gleason, Mr. Cohn, Mr. Gleason, Mr. Cohn, and Dr. Provenzano at the high school, and picking out the 100.
Balut.
Oh, Mrs. Balut, yes,
Yeah.
Mrs. Balut, Mr. Cummings, Dr. Finley, the whole gang. I apologize. And so that's for the 6 to 12. And you said about 100 invitations, and we usually end up with
No, about 100, no more than 100. We wind up with about 100 kids.
100 kids.
Mhm.
And the others program you were talking about, where the schedule GG, which you said was special ed,
I believe that's special education summer programs.
and how many students do we typically end up with in that program? Is that 6 to 12 also, or is that all the grades? And similarly, invitations get organized through your office? Not principals. This goes through special ed. Perfect. PPS, sorry. Got it. Thank you for that.
I just want to mention on the first summer school program that you brought up with the 100 students, that's through the American Rescue Plan. This is the last year of the funding for that, so I just wanted to make that clear.
So last year was last. So this year's the last year for that.
It's the September 24 is the final month of expenditures that you're allowed to have through ARP, so we're able to include an additional summer.
And how much were we spending, or how much were we granted?
The
and how much we're
total
spending?
grant was about 1.2 million over, I believe, 4 years.
And so would that assume that we are spending 300K, or we front loaded our spending?
No, we didn't front load it. Don't forget, there's the after-school program that was included in that over the last several years. And also there was some technology purchased through that. So I would say the summer program itself is probably in the $200,000 range.
For the 6 through 12.
Correct.
And the
And there's
program
also the
through
book-
PPS, is that separate?
That's completely separate. We've always had those programs, so we'll always continue to have those programs.
Got it. So no, but as you said, so the 200K program is up in the air for next summer, but the PPS program is a definite for next summer.
The Secretary of Education has been lobbying Congress to reauthorize those funds. The information that we received out of Congress is that the likelihood of that is a long shot at best. Again, school districts have said that money has really helped initially for the recovery from COVID, but again, it's supplemental monies that have been of great benefit to our kids. And they are, again, trying to lobby to see if there's any chance of some extension of those funds. But again, from what we're hearing from Congress is it's not likely.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? All in favor? 5-0, thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Jen, second. Chris, all in favor? Thank you. Have a good night. Hopefully there's some cake left.